So what is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 4 of Dock Talk. That in our intro is killer. Just the beat. Just get you going, don't it, boys?
Right.
Tonight, I have two special guests, and we're talking out of my element 110%. Something I'd like to enjoy, something I'd like to try. We're talking a little redfish and little trout fishing. We're down with the boys in Texas tonight. I'm going to let you boys introduce yourself. We're going to start at the top first. Let's hear from our Daiwa angler of the night.
Hey, what's going on? Dustin Nichols here, Jackson Kayak Factory Fishing Team in the house tonight on Dock Talk. Get a break away from the norm, man. We're gonna get a little salty on y'all tonight. So much for them greenfish,
All right, and we've also got with us tonight.
What's up, guys? I'm Ram Garcia, Corpus Christi, Texas. Actually from Robstown, Texas. I'm on the Jackson regional team, and I'm nervous, as you could tell. I do this often, but I'm still I need to get those jitters off of me. You know what I mean? But we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk redfish. We're gonna talk whatever comes up.
Shoot,
All
yeah.
right.
We got the script flipped on us tonight.
Yeah.
Both of us actually host podcasts, so it's kind of different being guest on one.
We do it quite often, but the jitters are still there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's
Scared
Here's my banner's gonna fall down from behind me.
At least you got a banner. I'm like still stuck in the stone age. I like pause one of our YouTube videos with the Pal and Fin logo and put it behind me with the TV. I need to break down and get a banner. I think that'll work. Go ahead and get one done.
Do what I got. I just got a road sign to Del Hollow Lake. Everybody needs one of those.
There you go. Everybody needs one of them. I love that lake, man. Yeah.
When we going?
I'll
You
be
tell
back
me,
in October,
and
hopefully. Or next April. April. Yeah.
December sounds good. You'll be cold. I'll bring you a jacket, though.
I'll be chasing big trout in December.
All right,
get down here.
So,
yeah,
you guys have your own thing going on down there in Texas, redfish tournaments. So I guess redfish tournaments are a lot different than bass tournaments, as Dustin and I have talked a few times about this. Let's give the folks at home that may not be familiar, our bassin fans out there, give us a rundown on how these redfish tournaments work, and just dial us in.
Go ahead, Ram. You can start it out. We'll add back and forth.
All right. Well, the tournaments that I've been involved with, from the Corpus Christi area up to Houston, Galveston area, are pretty big. I try to stay away from and nothing against them, right? Nothing against the lower. I have always felt if the tournament's a high-end tournament, right? $500, $300, then regardless of the payout, you get the quality of angler that you're looking to compete with, right? So I've done some of the $100. I've gone up to the $500 range. The PRL was one of them, up from Corpus to I think the last one I fished in the Houston area was I already forgot what the hell the town was, but
Bass
somewhere
Drop.
up, right? So somewhere around there, right?
Yeah.
Typically you get around 25, 30, 40 anglers. You get the captain's meeting, you go over the rules. You got to catch some pretty big redfish to compete with the high-end anglers up there, especially. Of course, Corpus brings in a few high-end anglers as well. It's a live weigh-in. The ones I've fished, you know, if you don't have your ice chest, if you don't have your live well capabilities to travel with these redfish, and they end up dying on the way, well, you're going to get a quite a bit of deduction from the weigh masters, you know. 28 inch, right, is the typical fish you're looking for, redfish you're looking for. Of course, you get all the small ones on tournament day. Pre-fishing, you get the ones you want to catch, you know. But for those lucky anglers out there, you get the good ones, you know. And it's anybody's ball game when you're fishing for redfish, because they're all hungry, you know. Every now and then you'll get those redfish that just don't bite, or you'll get the post and you see from the other anglers, yeah, they just didn't want to bite, or the moon was in my way, or, you know, everybody was in my way, so I had to go around them and stuff, and I didn't want to bother these guys over here, so I had to go over here, and it ruined my game plan and stuff like that. But if you get the good ones, you know, you get to stand on the stage, you know, and everybody takes your picture, and you get to create a big long post about it, and you're excited, and it gets all over Facebook, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go. That's a lot of dock talk too, you know, when the guys are coming back. So you guys got the same dock talk we got in the bass world, where you guys come back and they didn't catch them, and they got 18,000 reasons why they didn't catch them.
Right?
Yeah.
It's everybody's fault except the angler's fault.
Yeah. It's the angler's fault every time. Yep, for sure. Yeah, but that's what different. You know, there's a slot. There's a slot of 20 to 28 inches is your legal redfish in Texas waters. 28 over 28 being oversized, you'd have to tag that fish, which, you know, kicks it off. You know, if it measures a hair over 28, they kick it. It's disqualified fish. It doesn't count. But yeah, you're looking for, you know, 8-pound plus slot fish. You know, 16 pounds plus 16 pounds going to put you in the money pretty much every tournament. Just about. There'll be some weird ones here and there that'll throw a loop for you, but you know, you'll see some solid fish. You know, there's been some solid fish around this week. There's actually a tournament coming up this weekend, the Ray Del Mar tournament. It will have an inshore division, which will be the 2 slot redfish, total weight for them, and then the second day will be offshore, which would be kingfish, snapper, cobia, kind of do that. And you have a winner in the inshore and the offshore division, and then the aggregate total winner will be like the king of the salt, Ray Del Mar. You get a big crown trophy and all kind of stuff. It's pretty cool tournament. Unfortunately, I cannot take days off from work. I'm burning some more days next week. I'm heading to Okeechobee for that KFL matchup with the Coosa Kingfishers. So I'm gonna switch gears next week and go chase some bass. You know, but treating this week like a lead up to the Ray Del Mar. I've had some solid weight this week, you know, on my home waters. I fished down in Laguna today, Corpus area, and I had some good fish. There's just a lot of oversized fish down there where I was at. Actually got on a really good flounder bite, believe it or not. Wow. I flat out stroked the flounder, slow rolling the chatterbait in the crash channels, dude. Like stroked them.
So there's going to be a fish fry coming up.
I didn't even keep any. I was like, dude, I would have had a limit of like 17, 18 inch plus. Wow.
Jackson Kayaks fishing fish fry coming.
I know, right? I know.
I'm waiting,
you know,
boys.
just like you, Ram was getting into the live well thing, and actually this time of year, as hot as the water temps are, you don't want to drag them around on the stringer. Period. You want to have a stakeout pole where you can set them up and let them swim around and kind of come back and check on them, or you want to have a live well on your kayak and have some like frozen water bottles with you, some G juice. I actually have an oxygen bottle rigged up to mine that is on my kayak with a recirculator and O2 going to it. Holds 2 fish. It's got a separator. I can put 3 in there if I need to, but I keep them separated, keep them upright. And I got a little soft bag cooler that actually have some frozen water bottles in there. And then I use one of our Sea Line dry bags, and I put a 10-pound freaking bag of ice in there and seal it up and then float it on the top when I'm going to the weigh-in. So it keeps that water cool. Hot water will kill a fish. Hot water will kill them redfish quicker than nothing.
100%. Now, when you're talking about that, man, I mean, you know, just thinking about what we put on our kayaks anyway, I know that your one of your big uses is the U-pick. That's by the time you've got your batteries, your motor, your tackle, everything in there, and then you're adding this cooler with all 10 pounds of ice. Then you've got the weight of the cooler.
Yeah, you
all
got
that
probably about 7 gallons of water in there
Yeah, so that's
times 9 pounds.
how's
Another
that
65 pounds.
affecting? How's that affecting the boat when you get a little bit of chop and different
It
things
gets
out
the
on the
bow
water?
down a little bit, but I actually trim back a little bit and keep my batteries in the back so it offsets. It works out pretty good. But I would love to see the U-Pick like another 6 to 8 inches longer with a little hatch up front. It'd be money. Be money,
dude.
Be money with a motor on it.
That's probably copyright. I shouldn't say money, dude.
Money, dude.
Money, dude.
That's
So-
money. Put that on a cracker.
Man, so you carry your live well on the kayak,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? I have a stringer. It's a stinky pants stringer, and I actually use the forget their name, man, but they have a like a culling clip,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's fish hide.
Fish hide has that one. I have that stringer. Yeah.
Fish hide. I use their culling clips on my stinky pants stringer.
Yeah.
And I haven't had many die yet
Well,
for tournaments. I've been out of the tournament scene also, but
this time of year, if you got an 1103 and you're trying to haul butt back to the launch, you can't drag those fish 6 miles an hour. You'll kill
oh,
them.
dude, if I have something like that, I'll be giving that fish mouth to mouth at the truck, man.
That's why I just throw them in the live well and go. Pew,
Right?
gone.
Is it like a slim line, or is it just your typical ice chest?
No, it's a craft.
It's made specifically for that.
No, it's just a sportsman box, a plain old sportsman box.
Okay.
It's 29 inches by 16 inches.
You know, you don't see many specifically made kayak systems for that. You know, if somebody would make something like that, maybe that's an idea for Orion. If Orion's watching us right now, that'd be a good idea, man.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Right? That'd be man, that would sell for sure, you know. A battery slot, you know, for your aerator, you know, a little slot for your oxygen tank, you know, just 29 inches long, you know, perfect size for us Texas anglers, you know.
It sounds like you boys need an Orion 55.
Oh, that's too much weight.
Oh my gosh.
You want them low profile. You don't want them about 12 to 14 inches tall.
Right.
Yeah, you want them slim, you know, just to hold 2 fish, just get some water in there. That's the thing.
Actually probably got the same box sitting right here where I carry my stuff when I'm on the road.
Yeah, I got a little black one, and I just took the lid and cut it in. I cut a third of it off, and then used little zip ties to make a little hinge.
Oh yeah,
and I drilled holes in the top, so you know airflow and everything. Unfortunately, it is black, so I mean I'll cover it with a wet towel or something on the way back to the within it in the truck, or cover it up, you know.
Get the heat off of them. I've seen some pretty good ones, man, that they post on some group pages that I'm on. They get pretty creative with the slots to hold each fish like in its own little room, and each one of them gets their own air and stuff like that. Just it's a big deal, you know.
I haven't lost any in mine yet. It's
that half-pound deduction can break you. You know, it could take you out of that money really quick.
Yeah, you lose 1 pound with 2 dead fish. You know, hell, even just a half a pound. The last tournament, the tournament before last, the PRL stopped number 2. You know, that half pound deduction for the guy that finished below me, you know, cost him a check. You know, because they paid top 5 and I finished in 5th. Luckily, I had 2 fifths. I started out with a 5th and had another 5th, and then this last one, I only brought 1 fish to weigh in. You know, just couldn't connect. You know, just rough times. That was back in the middle of July. The fish were in the area. I just couldn't keep them stuck. Couldn't keep them pinned. 12th place. Yeah, unfortunately, next weekend, the 20th, is the championship. But I'll be in Okeechobee. Unfortunately, I'll be catching bass.
Now, how do you pass on the championship to go bassing? I mean,
because I already had obligations for that KFL matchup before that date came out. So.
If you see me politely throwing stuff, if you're watching this live, my dog's having a blast down playing tug of war. My coworker is not cooperating tonight.
Your cameraman?
My coworker, she's having a good time.
What's up, Miss Jean? Everybody's on there. Drew Turner, he's another podcast host.
Got a mashup.
He said, "Is this the Chasing the Spool episode?"
Right.
Chasing the Spool.
I saw that. Josh Evans is in the house.
What's up, Nikki? Hi from Smithers, British Columbia. We got some Canucks in the house.
Yeah.
Josh Evans, what's up, my brother? Jerry Martinez, what's up, man?
Man, so let's get into some for what everybody's been waiting for. What are you throwing at these redfish? Ooh. You know, everybody's got their little secrets. You know, everybody's got their okay. I'm gonna wait for first cast. You know, I'm gonna wait till the sun is about 45 degrees. You know, I'm gonna throw them this color. What are you throwing, Dustin?
What am I throwing right now?
Yeah, not right now, but on tournament day. Not right now.
Few days and tournament day, dude. I've been catching a lot of fish on wake baits, man. Just a little small hunchbacks.
I've been seeing those wake baits.
Killing them.
And you know, I love the tequila sunrise.
Mm-hmm. The small one though.
Yeah, no, I actually used the big one. Yeah, and I changed the hooks out to stream. I wish I had one.
You got to change the hooks out.
If I could change this camera angle to that way, y'all could see everything I use, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
It's the tequila sunrise of that Strike Pro hunchback.
Uh-huh.
And it's deadly, man.
Oh, they're deadly.
Especially right before the sun comes up. Mm-hmm. Man, if you ain't throwing that, go buy them. Go buy them right now. All of them.
Yeah, Waterloo just restocked on all the small sizes. So if you know, you know.
Right.
In Victoria, you can go online, waterloorods.com.
There's a bone color. Bone
and chartreuse.
Like yellowish, bonish color.
Yep.
And that tequila sunrise. It always works when the sun's
coming up.
I was
that bone chartreuse one today.
Oh, yeah?
A lot of fish on that today, burning it pretty fast, too. You get a good reaction strike from them, even between feeding periods. You know, we had a full moon last night. I was still catching fish, 7, 8 o'clock this morning. And then, around noon, it really turned on. But, you still get some good reaction strikes, and you can cover a lot of water with a wake bait, that steady retrieve. Top water, you'll wear your dang arm off.
Yeah, it's
working at top water all morning. I still love it. I still call, I love catching fish on one knocker spooks and walking baits.
Right.
But the thing is, you can change your cadence on that wake bait. You can just work it real slow where it just wobbles right on the surface, or you can kind of burn it and it'll get down to almost about 6 inches below. And on the grass flats with the sand pockets, it's deadly like that. It'll get down below that floating grass, and you can actually burn it and do pretty good sometimes with it. So, or if there's any structure or shell in the marsh, burning it over that shell works real good if you got about a foot of water over that shell.
I feel the wake bait is no offense to you, right, Dustin? Don't get mad and go delete me and everything like that and delete me from your Facebook. I feel the wake bait is a good beginner bait if you're trying to throw top waters, right? It's kind of a foolproof bait. As long as you have a steady retrieve, you could get the idea of a top water, kind of what you want the top water to do. You know what I mean? Of course, I use them too. Because no one wants to
catch fish
all morning long. Just banging that rod side to side. You know what I mean? But the wake bait, man. The wake bait's deadly.
It is.
Say, the wake bait. Oh, you use a wake bait. You know what I mean?
I'll do. I cash checks with them. I catch bass with them too.
Oh, really?
Caddo special, that black one.
I need to get into the bass world. I know this is not a bass show, but I need to get into the bass world.
Well, you're gonna have a chance. I'm gonna plug this real quick. I need to start the event page and then get it put up. But the last weekend in October, we're gonna have
wait. Special announcement.
Three Bells Outfitters, along with Waterloo Rods, we're going to host a redfish greenfish event. The first day is going to be redfish. It will be online. The redfish will be an online event, 20 to 28 inches, your three best redfish. Then you'll fish the next day on Lake Bass Drop and catch 5 bass.
You have to fish that late.
You have to fish that late because the awards will be at that evening. We'll have live awards. It'll be a live tournament. Your redfish event will be your best 3 redfish, 20 to 28 inches. It'll be scored. and that'll be the first day. And then the second day will be a live event on Lake Bastrop.
Right. Well, I guarantee you that I'll be in the top 5 for redfish, but the bass.
No,
even if I'm
gonna put you on them. I'm gonna put you on them.
Well,
Lake Bastrop is like you can slay them over there. There's not a lot. I mean, you might not catch a lot of big fish in there, but we'll make it a 12-inch minimum, most likely, just to kind of bring some guys out. I know Castro's been kind of dipping in the Chris Castro, our other buddy. I just had him on Chasing the Tide. He's been dipping into the bass side of things, and he really wants to start figuring some of that stuff out too. It's fun. I've done it since I was a kid. But redfish, greenfish, I'm gonna get that together and start putting that stuff out here probably this weekend.
I can guarantee you that I will be there. I'm telling you right now that I'll be there. Even if it makes me create a post afterwards that I'm excited that I placed 50th in this tournament. You know what I mean?
Oh, I have a feeling you'll do better than that.
Then I'm gonna try my hardest.
But that's hopefully to get some redfish guys to go fish some freshwater and maybe some freshwater guys to come fish the salt. And then your redfish event will be open to Texas waters. No boundaries. You'll have a first cast, last cast, just like a bass tournament. Top, your 3 fish, aggregate. Say if you get, people get 328s. I mean, it's going to be by time of catch. I'm sorry, that's just the way it's going to have to be. Right. Not everybody's going to have a 32-inch catch board. To expand that out. I mean, we could, but it just makes it easier just to do it by. I doubt everybody's going to get 328s, but we'll see.
Now, while we're kind of talking about this here, we've got a little eye angler event coming up for folks that are near and hold the heroes on the water near and dear to their heart. We've got the Jim Dalton Memorial Tournament coming up.
Yep.
It is a saltwater and freshwater tournament, and if you're interested in what Dustin's talking about, it would be a good way to get out there and cut your teeth a little bit.
That's on iAngler. Look that up. It's the Heroes on the Water Jim Dolan Memorial Tournament. They do have a South Region bass, and they do have the Southern Region saltwater. I'm going to try to repeat because I did take the win in the saltwater Jim Dolan tournament last year. I did. Camille reminded us on there. Go check that out. That'll run from September the 10th until October the 9th. It's a month-long tournament. Aggregate fish. Each fish is scored differently. Redfish, trout, flounder. As many fish as you can catch and put on the board. It's a total, like an aggregate of all the fish. I think redfish are 6 points per inch. Flounder are 12 points per inch. And trout are 9 points per inch. So you get points for every fish, and it all adds up aggregate.
And the proceeds go to a phenomenal cause.
Great. Killer prizes too.
Yep. And if you guys are not familiar with Heroes on the Water, we encourage you to get online and check them out. Hit them up on Google and head over to the website. Give them a look, see what they're all about. It's a great program, great foundation, and they're doing great things.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
Now, Dustin, talking to you, you're kind of the lead on this question for me. And this is from the bass guy to the multi-species guy. So when we talk about lures, you guys are talking about wake baits. Obviously, we talk about chatter baits. How much bass stuff are you seeing translate between the two worlds of reds and in your largies?
Ooh, yeah. If they're way up deep in the grass, I will throw frogs, hollow body frog, or a top toad in white. Sure will. Crankbaits, spinner baits, chatter baits, jerk baits.
10-inch plastic worm.
I've never thrown a worm, but I guarantee they'll eat it because they eat sand eels like crazy.
Hold on, because I'm going to write all this stuff down. I'm writing all this stuff down. As you're saying.
certain times a year. Yeah, and just so y'all know that the totally different species though, but they will eat some glide baits too.
There you go.
The big trout will eat that. They are cannibalistic. They will eat their own. See that? Looks like a baby speckled trout right there.
Now you're speaking Charlie's language.
Baits, boy. Woo. Get some of that.
Some of that. So let's talk. Let's talk about your last tournament. Give us the rundown.
The last one.
Last one you fished, last redfish
Oh.
tournament you fished. Location. Tell us a little bit about it. Tell us
The
what
last tournament
I
I fished was just in Connecticut recently. That little salty showdown for the trifecta 3 bells.
Yeah,
Definitely
tell us about that one.
Out of my element, man. I got my heart broken by some big old donkey striper. That's what happened. I got ripped all up in the rocks.
Oh,
They
man.
got these top waters. They're called the Dock. It's a 9-inch spook ram. I mean, I wish I had one of them. I got one in the garage.
9 inches.
9-inch long spook called the Dock.
Wow, it's only made there or what?
Yeah, they there's a company that makes them. They're out of the Northeast somewhere. Yeah. It's a big old dang bone spook. They were crushing that thing. They was heartbreaking. But yeah, it was fun. Fluke, different, 40 to 60 foot of water, and you're dropping a 2-ounce bucktail with a little teaser curly tail, like bouncing on the bottom, trying to catch these fluke. It's pretty fun. Caught some sea robin. That was cool.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I took that division.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. It was pretty cool. Cool little picture and stuff. And yeah, it's fun. Good times. But yeah, my last redfish tournament was that third stop of the PRL in Port Aransas, Professional Redfish League, the kayak single man kayak event. What comes into play in that tournament is the weigh-in location. If you're going to fish your home waters outside of the Padre Island, Mustang Island area,
right,
you have to take a ferry across to get to that weigh-in, or you go all the way around through Corpus and then back the other way through North Padre Island and come back through to Port Aransas.
Miles.
Yes, and time. And you never know, it's hit or miss on that ferry line. It could be a 2-hour wait or it could be a 20-minute wait.
Now, this is a good question, I think,
Yeah.
As a bass guy. So you guys can load up, go to any ramp you want to in the single man kayak division, different things like that. Can you up and move in the middle of the tournament just like you could in a bass derby?
Yeah, you can go relocate and launch somewhere else. But yeah, for that event, you do have to send a pin to the tournament director just so he knows where you're at, in case you don't show up or something goes on, Still got to communicate and all that, just like checking in and all that good stuff. But yeah, you can up and move and change locations if you want to. Just got to keep them fish alive, or you're gonna lose a half pound per. Yeah. But time management plays a big role, especially in depending on weigh-in locations and all that stuff. But I opted to fish down south. I fished some well-known flats in the lower Laguna, and there were fish. I mean, they've been beat on a little bit because they had the boat tournaments 2 days before us. We had our event on Sunday. They had the 2-man boat event Friday and Saturday. So, they beat them up pretty good, but, lost a couple decent fish early, caught some overs. And then I put one in the boat, 27.75. It was almost 7.5 pounds. One more of them might have been in the money, and they were there. I just ran out of time. It's just one of them deals. You got to, keep that lure in the water. You keep grinding. You keep running back up and burning that torpedo battery down, running back up and use the wind to kind of drift back over the potholes, this little sand pockets in the grass where they kind of stage up for ambush points and stuff. And I was just burning like a little curly tail grub on an 1/8-ounce jig head. And then the wake bait over those sand pockets that, with the sun overhead and stuff, you can see those sand pockets pretty good with your polarized glasses. I just try to fan cast all them. Bam, 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 bam. I turn and burn, like run to the next set. Bam, bam, bam. Run to the next set. Bam, bam, bam. So yeah, it's running and gunning pretty much. You're just covering water, keeping that lure over them in sand pockets, And then sometimes you might see some surface activity. You might see some bait get blown up. So you kind of run over there to that, kind of hit that area pretty good, Right. And then in the marsh, it's definitely different. There's some areas ram fishes and I fish too that they act a little different than those flats fish. They'll be, they'll be tailing, they'll be pushing bait up in the grass and in the Spartina and everything. So it's a little different in the marsh too.
Now, talking about time management, I'm gonna go Ram on this one. Let him fill this question for us.
Oh man, my heart just started.
Oh man. So, and you can really both chime in here. I mean, whether it doesn't really matter. I don't think whether you're obviously in a redfish tournament or any kayak fishing tournament of any time. Let's kind of dive into time management and the different things on that, because that is probably one of the, not only are you out there catching fish, but man, it's a big factor in what we do, because Yeah, you can have a torpedo, you can have pedals, you can have the
Right.
fastest paddling boat out there. But time management is 100% key. I mean, if you have a
Yeah.
time where you've got to pick up and move in the middle of the day, it can really be stressful.
Yeah, especially for these tournaments that are out of town. You know, these tournaments that are Houston, Galveston area. If you've been pre-fishing or you just have your local spots, you know, and you want to just fish your local spots, you pretty much have like hours, you know, 2 hours, 1 hour,
Yeah.
you know, depending on how you fish or where you're going to fish at. Most of these tournaments are, you can't take off till the sun comes up, or you can't take off till a certain amount of time.
Yep.
So once you get to your spot, that's about an hour, 2 hours away, man, you got like minutes to fish, you know, and then you decide, okay, well, you know what, I want to fish over there instead. You know, okay, you have a torpedo. I fish with a torpedo myself as well, but you know, it can only go so fast, and you still have to catch fish, you know, decent fish to make you think, okay, we're gonna pack up and leave. You know, let's pack them up, put them in the live well, and hope for the best on this 3-hour drive that we have to the Galveston, Houston area. You know, and hope for the best. You know, you're stopping every 5 miles, every 10 miles to make sure these fish are alive. You know, myself and Dustin, along with Chris Castro and Poco Cedillo, actually fished a trout tournament a couple of years ago, and we finished early.
Yeah.
You know, we
could have stayed on the water another 2 hours and probably won that damn thing.
Right. We we did pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
To, you know, it was an eye opener, I guess. It was actually a boat tournament, you know, and we arrived to this captain's meeting, and these guys are rolling up with $100,000 boats, and we're the only kayak team, you know, and myself and Dustin, of course, representing Jackson Kayaks, right? And you know, and I don't want to mention no names, but we asked people, hey, can we even compete? Right? Is it okay if we compete? Yeah, we'll take y'all's money. Mm-hmm. They responded, right? And we're like, well, man, that's kind of discouraging. You know, man, should we even do this? Well, you know what? It's going to make a good Facebook post, you know.
Oh, yeah. Some of the biggest names in trout fishing and trout tournaments in Texas were at that tournament.
Right. And so we start fishing that day, and I want to say I'm not going to give an exact time, but we're hours away from the weigh-in.
Yeah, hour and 50 minutes, I think is what it was total.
Right, there you go. So we catch fish. You know, we instantly catch fish, and they're good fish. They're like yelling fish. You know, they're like, I want to yell right now, fish. You know, and we all gather up and we say, you know what are we going to do? You know, and we come to a group decision because it's a 4-man team. You know, there's 4 people in the water. You know,
and they have to be alive.
Yeah, it's a all trout tournament. This is before they took them all away from us, right?
And trout are way harder to keep alive than redfish.
Right. So nothing against the Texas Parks and Wildlife, right? It's okay. We had a bad freeze. Now we could only catch 3, I think, or something like that. And at that time we could catch 5. So we decided to hit the road, you know, and I want to say there was 2 anglers on the team that had a live well. So we split the fish up to keep them alive a little longer in hopes that they would stay alive by the time we got there. And we get to the tournament and no one's there. You know, we're one of the first teams to weigh in.
Yeah.
You know, and we're like, man, this is
like 12:30.
Yeah, we're doing this wrong. You know, something's wrong here, you know, and we decide to go eat. We come back, you know, we're on that type of tournament. I know this is a redfish episode, but on a trout tournament, you really don't know what's going on. You're seeing the weights. At that time, you already forget your weight, you know, so you're seeing their weight and you're like, man, I wonder if that's lower than mine. You know, I wonder if it's lower than ours. You know, let's go talk to a few people, you know, and of course nobody wants to say nothing, you know, because they're trout anglers.
They're trout anglers. They're tight-lipped, man.
Yeah,
and then I was all loud and boisterous. I was like, yeah, what's up?
Right.
Kayak,
on them plastic boats.
You know what I mean?
On them plastic boats.
I was all hyped up, boy.
JK on the side of them, you know. But
so the trout guys are the bass guys of this whole deal.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. So of course we're all standing there, and the guys start rolling in, some of the biggest names in trout fishing around here. And it might have been luck, right? It might have, it might have been talent. It might have been luck. It might have been a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Right. We weighed in our fish, and we hoped for the best. And those guys were, in any tournament you enter, man, you might be friends before the tournament, but tournament day, it's competition. Everything goes out the door, and you're competing against each other, and we turned out pretty good. I can't remember what our weight was, but I think what did we get, Dustin?
A little over 21 pounds. We were less than a pound from winning.
20-something $1,000.
And it was like a $18,000 difference in prize money.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
If we would have upgraded one more fish, if we would have stayed another hour, like we could have left 2 people to tend the fish at the boat ramp, and had 2 people go back out and fish, I guarantee we would have upgraded the fish. I guarantee it, because that bite was going to get better.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was weird because we showed up and there was nobody there.
Yeah.
It was like it was supposed to happen.
It was supposed to be there. And usually there's some other anglers in that area,
Yeah.
And it just lined up, man. And we had some stuff going on, and it just stars aligned. The fish were eating. They're eating they're eating the high cotton cord.
You know how all them anglers like to go up north, up there north to catch all them trout. So
yeah.
But nonetheless, man, we did pretty good. We, like I said, we competed with the best trout fishermen, speckled trout fishermen here along the coast. I think it brought in like 20, 30 something teams of 4.
Yeah.
And
it was pushing 40.
It was
38 teams, I think, at that one.
Yeah. It was a pretty exciting event.
Yep.
But that's a big deal.
Third place.
When it's a 3, 2, 4 fish tournament and you have your fish already, and you feel, man, I have this tournament, do you get off the water?
Yeah.
Or do you say, okay, I could do a little bit better, right?
We were pretty happy with what we had.
Yeah. You have a 20, let's say if it was a redfish tournament, you have a 28-inch redfish.
Mm-hmm.
Man, is the other guy's 28 redfish going to outweigh yours?
Matter. Right, exactly.
So you have to make a group decision, especially if you're in a group team and of experienced anglers. You tell them, hey, this is how I feel, and if your teammate shoots you down, hey, guess what? Well, it's a group decision,
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel team management's a super big deal. I fish tournaments with my team partner, Bob Rivera, and we've come up to the decision to where, let's keep fishing. Let's keep fishing till we run out of time. To the last second. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And some tournaments we do good, some tournaments we don't do good. But it's at the end of the day, it's a group decision. And
it was a group decision.
And I'll blame him. You know what I mean?
And then for that tournament, there was penalties for dead fish. So every fish mattered. One dead fish would have cost us that check. We'd have got bumped back to 4th.
Right.
With one dead fish. So
now,
it just comes to the decision making and all that stuff that gets involved in that. If you decide to make the run, or you want to babysit these fish and try to get one more and call one, or there's just so many thoughts going through your head on tournament day. You can always second guess yourself. The mental aspect of tournament fishing is probably way bigger than catching the fish.
Now let's kind of talk about the culture of the redfish crew, the redfish crowd. I mean, how does it? Every fisherman's different. We've got our fly fishermen; they're all decked out in Sims. Our bass guys are a little bit different yet. Our pan fishermen they're their own deal. What's the redfish culture like? Give us.
Well, the trout fishermen are the Sims guys too. They got like all the Sims waders and all that good stuff on. They're all. Sims gear is it's top notch. I got a lot of their jackets and stuff too.
Right. I want to say a trout fisherman will have like an extra pair of brand new Sims in their truck for weigh-in. You know what I mean? And they'll change right before going on the stage or the to get their to the awards. It's a different ball game,
Yeah.
and you could instantly tell the difference in culture from a redfish tournament to a trout tournament down here.
Well, see, and here's the deal about the trout. Most of the trout guys, they fish out of the boats, which they burn 90 miles an hour, and then they get to where they're going to go. Then they jump out and wade these areas, and they,
Right.
you stir up the water. You're wading, you're shuffling, you're walking around on the bottom and stirring this stuff up. You got to remember, we're in kayaks. We're drifting over these spots, silent, stealth.
Right.
So, I've always found that, pretty interesting. Chasing big speckled trout is what being the stealth of the kayak has definitely helped me land a few more bigger ones over the years than wading in and making some noise and racket on the reef.
Camille says redfish anglers have more fun.
Yeah,
that's true, man.
Yeah, the trout anglers are a little more uptight. Yeah.
When we were at that captain's meeting, you could tell that we were out of our norm.
Yeah.
We were having fun. We were talking to people. Some of the people didn't respond to us because who we were and stuff. And some people wanted to see who the hell we were. They're like, man, who are these kayak? Where is that kayak?
Oh, well, there's a couple of guys, the Colby from Waterloo. He knew he knew we was going to put some weight.
Right. He didn't know what was about to happen.
Yeah. He knew we was going to do something. He knew we was going to bring fish in, but didn't know if we were going to be on the podium or not. But that's pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
The Whitley boys are always on. Them boys took it out. So yeah, them boys are always on some dang good fish.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's just sometimes it's that the luck of the draw, man. It just everything comes together. Yeah.
And that's where the most of the money's at. If you want to win, if you want to get the good payouts, you almost have to get into a boat tournament and in hopes of them letting you even compete on a kayak.
Right.
I feel like here in South Texas, Dustin's area, down here, even Houston area, pretty much the whole Texas coast, you don't get the big payouts that the boat anglers bring. And they've tried for years. I say they have tried for years to bring in good payouts from expensive entries, lower end entries, but it's never the same. It's almost you have to, if you want to get a good payout, to something to brag about, right? You almost have to join the boaters.
And then and that's where there's a separation also, because a lot of the boat tournaments have a shotgun start and they all launch from the same location. They draw numbers the night before. Being that artificial showdown was a trailer in where you could launch from anywhere in Texas waters, which that was how we were able to fish that, because we could go launch where we wanted to, as long as it's a public launch. And that's how it worked out. Unfortunately, I couldn't go fish that Trout Masters or stuff coming up, next year, or the POC freeze out, because you got to launch all from the same location, and them guys going 90 are running down south, and I'll be stuck to within 3-4 miles from the launch location.
Yeah, it's a big deal when you're fishing against the boats, because if you want to, if you go to your spot and you're not catching, it's one of those other group decisions, to where, man, let's get up and go, or let's stay. We have to pack up our kayaks, and you're packing up you don't want to drop your $1,000, $2,000 depth finder, and do you leave your rods on board, do you just unload everything, and then you get to your other spot and you have to redo everything over again. That's time. That's these boaters, 100-mile-an-hour boats, 90, 80-mile-an-hour boats, can just get up and go and at their wish.
Miss Jean asked, what is the entry fee range with these tournaments? Well, some of those bigger trout tournaments and stuff are, $800,000 entry fee for the team. Most of our redfish events now are $100 to $200. You start getting up there, it thins the herd out a little bit. A lot of people who don't want to throw down $500 for a tournament, and that's what the entry fee is for that PRL championship coming up. It'd be $500. Yeah. I wish I was.
Well, and I think that's, a lot of the tournaments, no matter what genre you look at, I think as that entry fee climbs, your diehard guys that really want to throw some money at it, it definitely thins the crowd. I don't care if it's green fish, brown fish, trout. It definitely changes things as the price goes up.
Yep.
Right.
Camille's got a question for you, Dustin.
What's that?
No, more of a statement.
It's like playing Frogger on tournament day, right? Yeah. Yeah. You can say that. Yep.
Now, talking about upcoming events. So, Dustin, you're obviously headed to the KFL.
Yeah, I'm headed there.
Yep. What have you got coming up in the near future?
Man, I just play it by ear. You know, I've missed out on a lot. I've started my own podcast, right? Spoiled Life Live. Go check it out if y'all have time. If y'all want to have a good time, right? But I've missed out on a lot of good tournaments, man. I'm trying to get back into the tournament scene. Of course, we got a tournament this weekend here in Corpus Christi. Pretty good tournament. I thought about doing that, but work got in the way. Babysitting got in the way. There's another tournament called the Elite Redfish Series that I'm looking into. I want to jump into that and jump into the Upper Coast, right? Yeah. I feel the Upper Coast has a lot of talent, right? Not that the Corpus Christi area doesn't have talent. There's a lot of good dudes, a lot of good redfish tournaments, and these are redfish tournaments, right? You don't get into the trout tournaments towards the winter time, and there's very few. So that's what's coming up for me. I might jump into the Elite Series. I'm looking at that one real closely. Me and my tournament partner, we're looking at that really close.
That one's on the 20th, also the same day as the PRL Championship.
Well, that counts it out. You know, if they would let me fish the PRL Championship for $500, I would enter. But I think you have to fish like two of them, or
you had to fish all three,
or a special amount of them. I wish at one point the PRL was $500-$600.
Yeah, 2 years ago
for a team. Yep. For a teamed event, right?
Last year and the year before.
Yeah. I feel like that brought in some of the some anglers from the Upper Coast. You know, they were not seen now for some reason. You know, I don't know why, but
they're fishing the GRS, the Galveston.
Oh yeah, that's
which did not allow motors, which was a lot of people kind of stayed away from that too. But Elite, I'm looking forward to Elite. I want to see how all that pans out. You know, they do a good deal with the boats, so they're doing these little. This is the second kayak event he's going to run, and they are going to have a series next year, and it's going to travel Louisiana, Texas, Florida, and I plan on flying. And then actually, don't forget Texas kayak basker Ryan Lockwood. I wanted to shout out. He said, "Hey, early and put it at September 17th, Sabine Pass, Texas kayak red rum. That's murder backwards."
Oh yeah, I like Sabine, man. I've been studying Sabine actually here.
Good stuff up there. A lot of good backlinks and stuff.
Past couple of weeks, and I want to check that out. But I want to stay in Elites. That lodge they had.
Oh, that was cool,
right? I didn't see too much from it. I don't know if the anglers I know you had to pay to stay there. You know, that's another.
I like necessities,
right?
I don't like the camp. I like the
Dustin.
lamp.
Oh, you are my new travel partner.
Yeah, man.
I am not sleeping in the truck. I am not sleeping in the tent.
Yeah, I don't have
AC.
I don't have one of those
steak and shrimps, and I want some cold beers.
Yeah, and a fire.
My guy.
Yeah. I don't want a tent. I don't have a tent in the back of my truck that, you know, and I'm going to sleep in. I have done that before, that I sleep at the launch. You know what I mean?
I've done it.
You know what I mean? But if it were up to me, right, I sleep in a hotel.
Oh, yeah.
You know, where somebody comes and cleans all my mess. You know, not that I'm messy, right?
Yeah.
Don't let my wife
start a whole
that.
new podcast with the three of us, the bougie fisherman's
right.
Yeah.
Glamping. You know what I mean? I want to sleep in a badass lodge that there's a fire inside the house, right?
I know, right?
Everybody has their own beer, you know, and I get to taste everybody's beer, you know.
You know, there's definitely a lot of opportunities. I know Bayou Coast Kayak Fishing Club over there in Louisiana, they'll have their fall and tide in October. They have a lot of cool events. There also will be a kayak saltwater fishing league deal event too online. There will be a Texas event coming up in September. I need to check the date on that. And that championship will coincide with their Fall and Tide event. That's one of the oldest kayak fishing clubs in America, Bayou Coast Kayak Fishing Club out of Louisiana. Pretty cool guys over there. They run some good events and stuff too. So Louisiana is a great fishery and all that. And then, with that elite Redfish series, got quite a few Louisiana teams coming over to fish that Kima event, which is pretty exciting. Right. GRS is wrapped up for the year. PRL will be wrapped up, and then we'll look forward to next year and see what we got on tap for next year. But it looks like a lot of opportunity still,
Now, as we kind of start winding this thing down, here's a little fact for both of you. So, being in the social media game here at Jackson Kayak, it's kind of my job. I want to let you both know that the number 2 city in all Jackson Kayak Reach is Houston, Texas.
Uh-oh. About to go look for another house over there in Houston.
I know, right? Jeremy Baker, what's up?
So we've got the Texas crowd. The number 1 is actually San Antonio right now.
Really?
Texas hits us hard. We've got a lot of Texas listeners, a lot of Texas anglers that grace the Jackson Kayak pages, and we appreciate that very, very much. And especially, it's fun to have 2 of you guys on that are out there doing the same thing. And
that's good to hear from San Antonio.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we've got a lot of river bassers out there that like to get out on the river and and do some chasing for the big greenfish. So that's a big draw for us out there.
But why am I so red? Because I was out in the sun for the last 3 days fishing.
I'm red because I'm orange because my light's orange. But as we sign off here, Ram, I'm going to let you go ahead and tell us where to find more of you. Tell us about your podcast. Tell us how to get more Ram.
Well,
be Ram tough.
Well, it's not all about me, right?
Oh, it's about you today.
You could go find me and my guests at Spoiled Life Live, right, on Facebook. We're about to jump into the YouTuber scene, right? Yes, I know I'm going to be a YouTuber, right?
Keep going.
Don't get mad. But I'm about to jump into the YouTube scene with my with all of my episodes, so you can find them all in one place. You don't have to scroll through anything. It'll be all right there. You can find me on Instagram, Spoiled Life Live, and you can find me on Facebook, Ram Garcia, right? And of course, you can find me on the Jackson pages.
Absolutely.
With my amazing catches.
Dustin, tell me where to find you.
Oh, what's up, everybody? You can find me on Paddle and Fin is a podcast network. There is quite a plethora of segments on that podcast network. My episode is called Chasing the Tide. It's a saltwater kayak fishing segment. And you can find us there on Instagram, Paddle and Fin. Same thing. Facebook, Paddle in Fin. That's Paddle, the letter N, Fin. And then also I do have a Chasing the Tide Facebook page. It's Chasing without a G, CHASIN, the Tide. And my socials, you can find me Dustin Nichols VTX, which is down there on my little name tag right there. TikTok, Instagram, and then Dustin Nichols on Facebook. Check it out. I do have a YouTube channel, but I don't really have it posted in about 2 years. I got burned out on that. But no way to do a video a week, man. I'll just rather do pictures and little short stuff.
Them damn YouTubers.
Yeah, you do put out some pretty cool dance videos on your TikTok.
Spot burners.
Right. And skateboarding too, right?
Yeah.
We haven't seen a skateboard.
Oh yeah,
I'm skateboarding in a long time.
Gosh, now I wish I
haven't skated. I haven't skated in about 6 months, so I'll go get some grinds in. I'll go hit the park.
I made up my mind right now. I'm gonna go buy a skateboard.
There you go. Come on.
I think you guys got to get on this one wheel train. Come on, we're getting.
I got on one before. I was like a little too confident on it, and it humbled me real quick. And I figured it out because I've snowboarded, my whole life and everything, surfed, skateboarded. It's totally different. I mean, it was a learning curve on that thing. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Yeah.
Well, guys out there, we appreciate you all watching tonight. Episode 4 Dock Talk. We hope you enjoyed hearing from the Jackson Kayak Fishing team. Got a little salty tonight with the saltwater crew down there in Texas, and we appreciate their time and efforts and everything that they do for us at Jackson Kayak. We will see you back here in 2 weeks. Next Dock Talk episode is looking like the 25th. We'll be back here at 8 p.m. Eastern. Head over JacksonKayak.com. Get you a NAR, get you a U-Pick, get you one of everything, pick you up an Orion cooler, and stay tuned. We got some juice coming. It's gonna be good. So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.